Hey YouTube, what is going on? It's me, Shady here, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new video. We are in Inside the Mind of Shady episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about communication. By communication I mean like talking in all aspects, whether that be if you're communicating with a group of teammates, or if you're communicating with friends, or just communication, any type of relationship at all. I mean really just communication throughout your daily life, how important it is, and how high I prioritize it on my scale of priorities or qualities in people. Communication to me is a very, 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 very important thing. It is high on the list of qualities to look for in a friend. You have to be able to communicate with me efficiently, fluently, stuff like that. If you cannot, then I probably don't like you, or you're just not very high on my group of friends that I would like to spend time with or hang out with. But basically communication to me is very important, especially on a team, which is the first thing we're going to talk about for communication. If you're on a team, communication is probably a top 3 thing for me. For a team, I'd say the top 3 priorities for a team would be, or top 3 qualities of teams to have is communication, will, or like this mindset to like go out there and do your best, and everything like that, and effort or attitude, effort, and communication. Those 3 things are very important for any type of team, whether you're on a Call of Duty team, a Call of Duty competitive team, a Halo competitive team, a sports team, a business team, whatever it may be. Those 3 things are very high on the priority list for me. Without communication, no one really knows what is going on. For example, we'll use a Call of Duty competitive team for example, because I am on one, and sometimes we have really good communication, sometimes we don't. But communication in a Call of Duty setting, I guess, would be something like, let's say you're playing hardpoint on whatever map you want it to be on, or whatever game mode you want it to be, and you're pushing something as a team. Now, to practice and have good communication, you have to communicate to push as a team, to like who's watching what when you do get control of the hard points and like that, or in S&D who's watching what and where. You don't want multiple people watching the same thing, so communication is important in that, so you don't have have any blind spots or anything like that when you're trying to set up, or to call out enemies, give their specific locations so players don't have to guess where they are. They can know exactly where they're coming from, and they can get the kill, so your team can have a better chance of winning. And also just small talk stuff, like if your teammate's pushing someone, let them know you have his help, like saying, hey, I'll use Evan as it will be like, Evan, I got your help, man, or I have your trade, or let's push this together. Just that little thing can let that player know that, hey, this person's gonna help me out. This person is taking, this is actually kind of what Maniac said in his video, if you guys saw that. He said, hey, this person is taking their time to come and help me out. Maybe I should stay alive so they know they didn't waste their time trying to help me. And I thought that was some really good advice, and that's what I'm relaying to you guys in case you haven't seen this video. Just small talk, communication, or communicating that small talk, where the enemies are, how you're setting up, where you're going, where you're pushing, because you don't want to leave any blind spots for your team to get pushed through, and you don't want to have like non-communication, so you don't know where everyone's at on the map. You kind of just want to have like a basic idea of what everyone's doing, where they are, what's going on, where the enemies are, where they're coming from, and who's watching what and where, and stuff like that. So communicating is very important in that aspect if you're on a team you're trying to win. Same thing goes for sports. If you're in basketball, you need to call the screen so your team doesn't get blindsided, or you need to communicate who has who on defense, so everyone has their own man and no one takes the same person and no one's left wide open. Or on a business team, you communicate who's doing what and where. You probably want to assign each person whose skills best fit the job to that specific job, and then all the moving parts need to be communicating with each other. All the people that are doing each thing need to be communicating with each other, so the job that is being done by the business team can get done efficiently and successfully. With lots of moving pieces in sports, in business, in video games, communication is very important, so you have a general idea of your surroundings, what everyone else is doing, how everything is going, and it's just basic information that is actually vital to succeeding or getting to where you're going, accomplishing a goal, moving forward, progressing, anything like that. And then moving on to the next part, communication is also very important in relationships. By relationships, I mean like dating relationships, I mean friendships, I mean really any type of relationships, sibling relationships, family relationships, cousin, uncle, aunt, grandma, mother, father, brother, sister, or significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, or just friends, like your guy friends or your girlfriends or anything like that. Like, communication is highly important. As I said at the start of the video, it is one of the top traits to look for in a person, to be able to communicate efficiently and fluently. And I just think it's very important to be able to communicate with others, like letting them know what is on your mind, or just talking to them, just in general, social interactions, stuff like that. I just think that's all very important to be able to do and have. Especially for me, I like communicating, or when I have a problem, I like to communicate it with other people so I can let it out, get some advice on what I need to do, just get it out there so I'm not storing it inside, it's not building up inside of me. I can actually talk to someone and let it out. Thankfully, I have 1 to 2 people that I can do that with, and I'm very grateful that I have that, so I don't have to build all this anger or sorrow or whatever it is inside of me. I can let it out to them. They can offer their condolences, give me advice, anything like that. Or when when you have a problem with someone, the best advice I can give you is just sit down and talk to them, because most problems in relationships, friendships, anything like that, the biggest problem is not communicating with each other. Miscommunication is a killer. I know it happens so often to me. That is why I make such a priority to make sure that nothing is unclear, everything is obvious, everything's out there. There's like nothing left to guess about. I don't like guessing. I want for sure things. I want to be for sure about things that people tell me and that I know they're gonna do. So when I have a problem with someone or anything like that, I sit them down and I talk to them. I let out what's on my mind, I get their thoughts, we talk it out, we figure out what's going on, what happened, why it happened, what we can do to make sure that to not let that happen again, everything like that. I mean, just like, if I have a problem, I'm gonna sit you down, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna figure out, like I said, what happened, why it happened, how we can do to prevent it, what we can do moving forward, anything like that. And that's just what I like to do, because I don't like to be left guessing, left wondering, stuff like that. I have a problem with overthinking, so just making everything out there in the clear is just much simpler and easier for me to just relaxes my mind, really. And I know some people just have a problem with communicating with others, and I don't think that's a good idea. Usually people come to me and they have a problem with someone else. The first thing I go to is sit down and talk to that person, whether it be through text, through phone calls, through face-to-face, anything. You need to get that person and talk to them one-on-one, no distractions, no anything. So texting probably isn't the best idea, but if that's your only option, then that's what you gotta do. You just need to make sure it's clear. You need to make sure when you're communicating with someone, also make sure your wording is right. If you say it in the wrong tone or use the wrong wording, chances are the point you're trying to make will not get across. You need to be very clear, especially through texting. Things can get very confusing because you cannot see the other person's face, you can't get their facial expression, you can't get their tone of voice, you can't get anything like that. All you have is the words they say. So be careful, especially if you're texting, communicate with someone about problems or anything like that. You need to word it correctly how you want to. Make sure it's your thoughts. Make sure you're wording it exactly how you want it, so it sounds like how it's actually going on in your mind. Sometimes that's hard, but you have to try to do it so there is no miscommunication, because miscommunication will be a killer. It can ruin friendships, relationships, teams, anything. It will ruin it, and so you need to be able to communicate fluently and efficiently. You need to be able to word everything correctly, lay out your thoughts exactly how they are. If you have a problem with someone, sit them down one-on-one, get to the bottom of it, figure out why it happened, what you guys can do to prevent it again. And I just felt like talking to you guys today about communication. That's just been a problem I've seen recently and around, miscommunication, wrong wording and stuff like that, and I just felt like I should talk about it in the Inside the Mind of Shady. For this episode, I am going to keep this series around. I know it's been a while since you guys have seen it, I'm very sorry about that, but I hope you found this video very good. Remember, this series basically where I just go off on rants or just give you guys my thoughts. No script, nothing to help me out, I'm just going everything straight off the top of my head. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. episode 3 will probably be out next week. Coming out later this week. Yeah, I'll have at least one more video. I'm going to try to get 2 out later this week. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. This has been Shady, and Shady out.